Prost! We could be talking about history forever. Nice! But we have some cooking to do, so.
Yes.
Look at that, how beautiful. Oh, gosh. How do you like the food? Looks like a painter's palette. I think I better stick to cooking.
All right, Walter, I do have a surprise for you down here. You've got to have some food, and that's what the pasty is all about. It's an inexpensive meal with a lot of calories.
Which you need down here because you have so much physical work to be done. It's gorgeous. Wow. It's really delicious, actually. Really good.
It's the spot.
Yeah. Poured over by 19th century miners from Cornwall, England. The portable and convenient nature of the pasty made it a staple food for generations of families to come. I'm here at historic Pensacola Village. I should have been here a long time ago. This is so spectacular. Walking in here for me as a guy that cooks on open fire for the last, gosh knows how many years,
Right.
I feel like home.
We're excited for you to be here and for us to showcase what Pensacola has to offer.
Welcome Chef Staib to historic Fort Pickens here at Gulf Island's National Seashore.
I'm just overwhelmed. I mean, this must be the best kept secret in America.
I agree with you.
So Irv, I hope you don't mind. I asked the other chefs to come back because you made such a beautiful platter, so we
I
won't.
hope so. We can't eat all this. Gather around, enjoy some of this great, abundant seafood from Pensacola.
It deserves a toast. 3 powerhouse chefs highlighting the region. Don't get better than that.
We're doing pan de campo, which is a real rustic bread that they've done on ranches down here for a couple of hundred years.
I didn't see any tequila anywhere. Is that hidden?
That's later.
It's later. Okay.
If not, we won't be able to cook.
That's what you think.
Yeah.
I'm here to help you.
This chuck box, it came after the old days in the 1800s when they used to have these farm wagons and they converted to chuck wagons. So the cook could follow the herds around when they're herding. But when they started working with cattle like this in corrals, the cooks would take these chuck wagon boxes like this and set them up and do exactly what we're going to do today for the cowboy.
So before you had the Texas cowboy, you had the Spanish vaquero. When Anglo settlers start arriving in Texas in the 1820s, a lot of Spanish traditions around cattle raising become Texas traditions. And a lot of those Anglo settlers take on Spanish techniques.
Chef, this recipe is one of my favorites also. And what's fun about this one for this particular moment is when we were just walking around outside, I saw pecan trees here at the farmhouse on the hill, and I didn't know they were going to be here. When your eyes are open to what's available in nature, you see things everywhere. And this took maybe 10 minutes of foraging.
You kind of mirror what my life was about when I grew up many years ago in the Black Forest. You don't think for one moment I had a chance in the afternoon to play soccer with my friends? No, sir. I was sent in the woods. You go look for chanterelles. You look for raspberries.
Well, it makes a lot of sense because when we live off the land, when we look for opportunities to feed ourselves and feed our families, what's available? But if you know what you're looking for and how to stay safe, then you can go out into the woods, gather your own, and put them in a skillet that night.
I am so excited to be here at Old Fort Niagara. It's been on my bucket list for a long time. And I have Hannah with me today, who's going to show me what the cuisine at the time was when the fort was active.
Completed in 1727, this structure, known today as the French Castle, was the first permanent fortification at the mouth of the Niagara River and would play host to the decades-long fight over the North American continent.
We have to protect the fort. This war is going on way too long.
Fire!
Nice, sharp. Go home, you Brits.
Yes!
Nice.
Yes!
A lot was passed along generation to generation. Of course, one of those is food traditions. And the food traditions here are often hundreds of years old.
Nothing makes me feel better than being here in this cabin. I love the open heart, I love the fire, I love the heat. And I'm here with Shanna, who's going to show me a simple but very spectacular dessert.
The descendants of those who escaped removal reorganized in the 20th century and established the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians.
Hi Chef, my name is Lily and I'm from the Museum of the Cherokee and we would like to welcome you here.
What a beautiful, beautiful museum. This trading post on the Santa Fe Trail was once the only building seen for hundreds of miles in any direction. American travelers from the east, traders from Mexico, and Native Americans gathered at this adobe castle on the Great Plains to exchange their goods. Guys, look what I got here, a very special book. What do you think? I don't know what you're going to give me for it.
What are you in the market for?
But what about a beaver head? Oh, let's see here. Oh,
geez, perfect fit. Can't do any
but
better
I'll tell
than
you
that.
what, you're not going to get it off my head. Wine production in this region dates back to the early 1700s. And while many early attempts failed, the experimentation and persistence of our first colonists and modern-day farmers alike discovered a way to cultivate tasty grapes that are perfect for winemaking. Wow. So sweet. This is going to make a fantastic bottle of Merlot. But who's waiting for that? I might as well eat them now. So Paul, while you were stirring the pot or taking a snooze, that's what I was doing.
Well, I think we both made out here because this just looks beautiful.
Unbelievable. Look at it. Oh. Fort Larned, established on the western Kansas Prairie, was built for the protection of U.S. mail coaches, commercial trade, and other traffic along the bustling Santa Fe Trail.
Fort Larned, when we was there, we'd go out on patrol and we would help the settlers move westward, protect the settlers. The Plains Indians were very spiritual people, just like the black soldier is. They thought God had sent the buffalo down as their brother, who cared for them. Food, water, shelter, weapons, clothing, housing. And we got into combat with them. They said our fighting spirit was very much like a wounded buffalo. We would not die. So they started calling us Buffalo Soldiers. That's the first time in history that we've ever been called anything out of great respect and great pride. We wear that very proudly.
Now you can't eat fresh bread here. Surgeon General of the Army says no fresh bread for 24 to 48 hours. It has to sit on the shelves for 24 to 48 hours. They were afraid the yeast would impact the soldier's digestive tract.
Well, guess what? He's not here. Today, I'm back in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, to indulge two of my greatest passions, farm-to-table cooking and historic hospitality. In this town, history is not merely reproduced and reenacted, it's diligently preserved. Join me in exploring the roots of a town that predates the founding of our nation, as well as the roots of our ingredients, all for a taste of history.